Good evening and welcome to another episode of Amber's Meal Train Meal Reviews. Before we get to tonight's offering, which is generously compiled and created by Daphna Stewart, I want to give you some very exciting news. Amber is up and about. She's moving around. She has been inspired by all of the loving meals you've created for her, and knowing that all of you are outperforming her in yoga and daily walks. So she's taken about all she can take, and the thought of each of you getting tighter and in better shape than she is has motivated her to overcome the overwhelming pain and actually stand up and walk around in crutches. So she's doing great, and it's all due to you. So thank you very much. And Daphna, thank you for this feast, which I will actually call a Carmel Valley buffet. And I really need to explain this to you to appreciate why it is a Carmel Valley buffet. And let me start with the soup. This is not any ordinary soup. This is a sweet potato ginger soup. Now, I would be willing to bet that this soup did not even exist 10 years ago. Sweet potato and ginger combined in a soup that smells wonderful, looks great, didn't even exist until Carmel Valley made it a reality. Next we have quinoa and tofu. And consistent with the buffet style, everything is made to order by the user. Here we have what could be a Greek salad. You've got the lettuce, tomatoes, olives, and feta cheese. But for anyone who's dairy-free, it can be just a regular salad with lettuce and tomato. So let's break these things down. Starting with the soup, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm gonna need another spoon. Oh, so good. Super smooth, very tasty, very rich taste. I can't even taste. Somehow the ginger and the sweet potato combine so that you can't taste either one. It's just they combine to form a whole, they've created a new taste that I've never experienced before, but it is delicious. And obviously the nutritional value for a sweet potato ginger soup is excellent. So we're really off to a great start here. Now let's move on to the quinoa and the tofu. I want to just explain to all of you that I have probably made upwards of 300 batches of tofu. And even though it's easy to make, it's not easy to make well. And this tofu that Daphna is serving for us tonight is definitely made well. And the reason why I say that is because you can see each individual quinoa. I think I might have said I've cooked tofu hundreds of times. I meant quinoa. Each individual quinoa grain is not mushy, it's still distinct, and although not crunchy, definitely has its structural integrity intact. So that's a key when you're making quinoa. So now I'm going to add the tofu. And again, consistent with the Carmel Valley buffet, quinoa and tofu, no way did that exist 20 years ago. And here we have them both combined in one buffet. Now I'm going to do two things with the tofu. First, I want to taste the tofu without anything else, and then I'm going to add some Clancy's Fancy Hot Sauce straight from Ann Arbor, Michigan, because I want to taste the tofu as prepared by Daphna, because I want to see if she did anything with it, because as you all probably know, tofu will take on the taste of whatever you cook it with. But before I even get to the taste of it, I want to talk to you about the texture and consistency. Again, a lot of points for Daphna in terms of the preparation, because you can see this browning on this side of the tofu, this side as well. It's very well cooked. This is probably That was probably a firm tofu, not extra firm, a firm tofu. Very well cooked, not too much, it's not too dry, not too little, it's not too wet, just right. This is a great tofu. I don't know that I can identify any spices that were used to cook, that it was cooked with. I'm going to add some Clancy's Fancy Hot Sauce. And then I'm also going to go over here to the salad bar and add some lettuce and tomatoes. This is really a fun meal that Daphna put together for us. Everybody's going to enjoy it. See, we have the lettuce and the tomatoes. And I know some of you might be thinking, oh, I usually slice my cherry tomatoes. Well, it's more appropriate when you're bringing a meal to somebody else to not slice the cherry tomatoes, because that keeps all the moisture inside. Had Daphna made the mistake of slicing these cherry tomatoes, there would have been tomato juice spilled all over the bottom of this salad bar tray and would have ruined the whole thing. And just to confirm, she did not leave the tomatoes intact out of laziness. You can see the olives are all cut in half. So what you can see in this one tray is a testament to both her thought process and her effort in putting together this Greek salad bar tray. So now I'm going to try the whole dish with the Clancy's Fancy Hot Sauce and the tofu and the lettuce and the tomato and see what this combination does here. So great. The hot sauce is perfectly offset by the cool lettuce and the cool tomatoes. It's delicious. So I already went over the nutritional value of the soup. Quinoa and tofu. Right here you pretty much have all of the protein aminos you need in a plant-based meal. And this salad bar tray, again, you have all good things: fresh lettuce, fresh cherry tomatoes, olives, and feta cheese. So nutritional value for the meal altogether is as good as it gets. You've got a great amount of protein, solid amount of carbs, and even some veggies. The presentation I really like. Daphna went with this unique approach of creating a food bar, and it really works for me. I like it. It's the first time we've seen that approach, so she gets a lot of points for the creativity in the presentation. And the taste is excellent. I don't know if there is a dressing for the Greek salad bar, but there certainly isn't one necessary. I just heard Amber say yes, there is. I'm not going to risk it because it could have some dairy in it, but I'm sure that's going to be delicious also. So, Daphna, thank you so much, but that's not all. There's also a dessert. Now, I do have to apologize for what's about to occur on the dessert portion of tonight's episode, because the dessert was not left intact prior to the filming of tonight's episode. Typically, we like to have the integrity of the taste test preserved by making sure the first taste occurs on camera. Unfortunately, Daphna brought over such a beautiful and decadent looking chocolate pancake that my daughter and tasting assistant Asha could not resist tasting it before this episode began. So you're not going to get her initial reaction to the chocolate cake, but apparently it made such a lasting impression on her. She wants to taste it for the first time all over again. So now we're gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna ask you, Asha, go ahead, take another taste.
Okay.
And you can get a glimpse of Amber in the background. Look, she's already getting back to work.
The chocolate is really rich, and it's really fluffy and dense, and it's a really great chocolate cake. And there's something on top, I'm not sure what it is, but it's some sort of chocolate on top, which is really good.
It's not often that you hear the words fluffy and dense used together to describe the same thing. How does that work?
I don't know, it's confusing. It's just really good.
All right, so there you have it, a spellbinding, decadent chocolate pancake. And let's wrap this up, Asha. So, Daphna and everyone else watching this, I want to thank you personally on behalf of Asha and Atticus. Today, this came just in the nick of time. The only thing I've had to eat so far today is the last of Sharon Goodman's Thai curry pasta and one of Netta Karam's protein balls. That's it. As I said before, I'm sticking with the meal train diet, and I was running out of meal train food, so this came at just the right time. I can't tell you how much all of your love has meant to Amber and to our entire family, so we really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Thank you.